Hey everybody, happy Tuesday, happy holiday. It is Thaipusam, which is a big holiday here in Penang, Malaysia. It is a religious celebration for our Indian community, and apparently there's over 1 million visitors slash participants in this year's Thaipusam festival here in Malaysia. I'm not going to go and explore that because I have to leave my neighborhood and head into Georgetown, and the traffic is just insane, and I don't want to cope with that today. We do have to make a quick little trip into Georgetown for something, but I'm going to be avoiding that area. But yeah, I thought I'd just make a little video and share it with you guys. I know people have been asking me to share more videos, things I'm up to, and just to show you guys where I'm at. Because you know, I podcast a lot, but that's obviously an audio type of thing, and people enjoy the visual. So let's hang out a little bit. Not much going on, but I'll show you some different things and tell you a little bit about what I'm up to and some thoughts. And oh, little finger over the camera there. Shouldn't do that, should I? So I'm just out for a walk this morning. Lovely little neighborhood here. I'm out for a walk, stretching my legs. I have a job interview actually in a couple of hours from now, which I'll do on Zoom. I've got a few interviews lined up for this week. Still not sure where I'm going to be next year with my family. We may potentially still be here in Malaysia, but we may be somewhere else. And I actually don't have news on that really. That's the unfortunate part. I don't have news. I wish I had news, but I don't have news. So we'll see. I'll keep you updated as things progress. We have these are all like duplexes. And some are in better shape than others. There's a big neighborhood of these around here. Quite a few for sale too. Lovely places, but I think they would all require renovations and a lot of upkeep. I think especially in this climate. One thing you notice on a lot of the houses around here is that there's a lot of like black mold growing on them. It is so humid. You see that too when you go into Georgetown and you see all the historical buildings. There's so much black mold growing on everything. I used to find that in southern China too, in Shenzhen, when I lived in Shenzhen, China. Always lots of black mold growing on buildings. So I think that would be a constant fight. Here's one of my favorite abandoned cars, the zebra car. You'll just see abandoned vehicles around. This one has clearly been here for years, but I get a kick out of this because it's got, I'm assuming it was a pizza delivery vehicle at one time. I'm not sure why I assume that, but I do just assume that. And I think this was at one point some kind of little community park or garden here. There are some tires here which look like they were probably planters of some kind at one point. This would have been a nice little spot for a community garden. Quite overgrown now, clearly not used. Quite a nice neighborhood. Great bamboo growing there. Bougainvillea, those pink flowers. I love this seat. Look at that. I haven't noticed this before as I've walked here. That is clearly a chair made from a tree stump. And I think at this gorgeous house, all that growing over the wall, that's, it looks like cactuses, but that's dragon fruit. Yeah, that's dragon fruit, absolutely. Dragon fruit plants. If you're wondering what dragon fruit looks like, that's what the plant looks like. You can hear the bird in the distance. Oh, it's done now. That's an Asian koel, or koel. There it goes again. So now here you go. There's a power plant. I wouldn't want to live right next to that, but here is an empty house. Both sides of the duplex are empty. That's a fixer-upper. There's a sign here for sale for rent. Even as a duplex, like that's a big place. You can see over here at this house, they've got that Chinese shrine. The house beautifully decorated, I think for Thaipusam. some gorgeous, gorgeous houses, and then ones that need work, and everything in between. But yeah, it's a neat neighborhood, huh? This is a neat little kind of garden cover, plants growing over their bins. Oh, there's some beautiful yellow birds. Those are yellow orioles. Those are types of orioles. Check that out, look up the wire. Look at those yellow birds. It's a type of oriole, I know that. Still have a little bit of bird nerd in me. More pretty flowers. Always lots of those around in Malaysia. No shortage of gorgeous birds and pretty flowers. So an honest piece of advice I'll give you guys, if you, and this will lead you to know why I am looking for work elsewhere outside of Malaysia, is, and Malaysia is a fantastic place, the people are incredible, but unless you're coming here, really, like if you're in my situation as an international school teacher, unless both you and your spouse, if you have a family, are both working, doing the same kind of job, financially it's not easy. Taxes are high, and the tax status is constantly shifting and changing, which makes it really hard to budget and save. And it's the most complicated tax place I've ever lived as a foreigner, and I've lived in a lot of countries as an expat. So on one income, like we currently have in my family, it is an absolute challenge, and I'm not used to being in that situation. So that's why we're gonna move on, and move somewhere where it's not such a challenge. It's just economics. I gotta think, my kids aren't getting younger, they're getting older. Kai, my son, starts high school next school year. So August, September, he's in high school. So I gotta start thinking about university and how the heck I'm gonna pay for that. He'll probably go to school in Canada. He's got dual citizenship, Canadian and Japanese. And I mean, his main language is English. So it just makes sense. And for what he wants to do, going to Canada would probably be the best option. And it's also the most affordable option because he is a Canadian, right? So he's not paying international school fees. But even then, still, it's not so much the tuition as, well, that's a part of it too, but the living expenses of living there, that's the pricey part. Very pretty place. This is a cool plant. So this is a type of palm, and you'll notice that the stalks of it are red. So this is a sealing wax palm. So sealing wax is an SEALING. So the red wax seals people used to use to seal letters back in the day, or documents, that wax would become extracted from this red seal palm, which is neat, huh? Gorgeous plant too. I'm saying the word gorgeous a lot. There's another one growing over here inside a person's yard, you can see right here. And it's very common, it's all over the place. Here we have a whole bunch of it growing in our schoolyard. Another house for sale. Oh, looks pretty nice, doesn't it? I have no idea what the asking price for houses here are. I was talking to a retired British couple who live a few blocks over one day. And they were telling me that the problem is with the way the housing market is, people right now there's a lot of people coming to Malaysia to buy property, but they want to buy new, because it's mostly people coming from mainland China, and they don't want old, they want new. So this couple was saying that they'd purchased one of these houses and they're trying to sell it, but they just can't sell it. They've been trying to sell it for years and they can't sell it. Another thing I have seen too, like the real estate market here in Penang, Malaysia is getting really hot. And a lot of that has to do with a lot of people coming from mainland China and buying a property. A lot of people are trying to get out of China and invest their money outside of China, which makes sense. And it's pushing up property prices everywhere. So even like what you'll find is like old dilapidated places, like sometimes the prices are just ridiculously high. And you're wondering, what the heck? So you'll find like these empty houses that are run down and really ratty, and they'll be asking like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 for them. No way. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that little walk around. I've got another video coming up in a couple of days of me exploring one of the most haunted places here in Penang, Malaysia. It's a video I actually shot last year and forgot to upload. I removed it from my phone, put it on a hard drive, and I've just remembered that. So it's got a connection to Japan. It's apparently, this was a former school in downtown Georgetown in Penang, and it was during World War II occupied by the Japanese Imperial Army and used as a headquarters, and also apparently kind of like an interrogation place and a torture place and all of this. It's said to be quite haunted. I went and I shot a video there last year. Going to upload that very soon. And for all of you, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking this video. I appreciate that, and leaving a comment. I love reading your comments. Please check the links below. Check out my Supernatural Japan podcast. That's where I'm putting all my passions into these days. Links below. More people are coming over and listening to it. I'd appreciate it if you listen to it as well. It's on Amazon and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all those places. Go subscribe to it. I'd be so happy if you could do that. Again, all the links below. Go check it out, and have an awesome day, guys.